Hi, everyone. My name is Jen Beach, and I am going to introduce you to Tynker and some of the cool things that you can do with Tynker. All right, I'm going to open up and share my screen quick. This bar is always in the way. My keynote is doing something weird. All right. All right, so today we're just going to go over the basics of Tynker and how you can use it in your instruction. I'm going to move my iPad because I'm getting some feedback. All right. So a little bit about me. My name is Jen Beach, and I have been teaching for 18 years. The last 6 have been in Worcester County. I am currently the media specialist at Pocomoke Middle School. And it was here where I really got to discover my love for technology. And over the last 6 years, I have integrated a makerspace into Pocomoke Middle School. We've learned a lot about coding, a lot about creating in CAD and 3D printing, and robotics with sphero balls and ozobots and different things like that. So I'm going to show you Tynker today, and we're going to review the basics of both the student and the teacher dashboards. And we're going to understand how you can incorporate these into your daily instruction. Sorry, my iPad was giving me feedback from over here. All right, so let's talk about Tynker. If you are a Worcester County employee, Tynker is available in the student or the teacher app for you to download. If you're not a Worcester employee, you can also just sign up with an email. And we are going to actually go to tynker.com, and I am going to start fresh like we are signing in. So I'm going to log out quick so that you can see what it looks like when you get in there. When you go to tynker.com, you'll see a whole host of different things that you can do, from going to the curriculum and things for educators to getting some questions answered for your parents, and also getting pricing on how much Tynker costs. Tynker does offer a lot of projects and lessons for free, but they also have a ton of paid for content. So we'll take a look at that in a minute. I'm going to log in. And if you have not logged in or not signed up before, you would click join for free. But if you're a Worcester County employee, you would click log in, because you can log in with your single sign-on. So I'm just going to click Microsoft down here at the bottom, and it is going to sign me in with my my Office 365 single sign-on. When you get in here, this is the teacher dashboard of Tynker, and this is where you can control what your students see on their app. We're going to go through a couple different things, and the first thing I'm going to do is archive one of these classes just so that it gets out of the way and you can see what it looks like to start a class from scratch. So the first thing I'm going to show you how to do is add a class and add your students into Tynker so that you can assign different projects and lessons to them. First thing we're going to do is go up here in the corner where it says add class. And I'm going to make one for my makerspace. Now my makerspace is mixed grades. I have students from 4th all the way through 8th. And I do have them after school with me in those mixed grades. So I'm going to click mixed. And then I'm going to click next. Now you can put your students in a couple of different ways. They do offer an option to get a class code, and students can get in that way. But I find the easiest way is to use my kids' single sign-ons because they know them. So I'm going to use my son as an example. And I'm not going to assign him a password. Tynker will assign him a password. So he's not going to use his single sign-on password, but you can change it if you want to. And I'm just going to push finish. Oh, helps if I spell Worcester correctly. There we go. All right, so now I've successfully added one student to my Makerspace class. I'm going to click on my Makerspace class, and before we look at all of these awesome tabs up here, I'm going to click on the student tab again. You'll see Tyler's in here. Now he has a password already created by Tynker because he is in another one of my classes. So if I wanted to find that for him, I would have to go to my other classes and find his password. I can also reset his password from here if I want to. Another awesome thing that Tynker does is gives you this Tynker Smart Pass. And this is a way students can just scan this QR code and log right in. And you can do that on tynker.com or with Tynker Junior, which I haven't had as much experience with. And you can print these badges, and you can also print the student list with their usernames and passwords this way. And it comes as a CSV. All right, so that is how you add students. And again, you can add more students through this tab as well. So the next thing that I'm going to show you is how to assign lessons. Now, like I said, Tynker has free content and a lot of free projects. They don't have as many free lessons, but the lessons that they do have really gets kids started with the basics of coding. And they have a couple that actually go into Python and other languages as well. So you can start your kids off in here and not spend any money. All right, so we are going to look at this lessons tab. And you'll see that my class already has 2 lessons assigned to them, Hour of Code and NASA Hour of Code. Underneath here are the weekly projects. Now, Tynker's weekly projects are awesome. And this is really what I do with my kids. A lot of my kids have already gone through the programs that Tynker offers in their lessons, which I'm going to show you in a minute. So these weekly projects are really cool for them and they love them. So if you like these weekly assignments, you can assign them from here. And you can see the difference. This one just says create a fun matching game celebrating Black History Month. This one says using HTML and CSS. So this one is most likely going to be block coding, and this one is going to use language specific coding. So I'm going to assign this one to my kids, and that's all I have to do, and it's assigned to them. If you would like to go up here and assign a course, we can click on assign a course. Notice at the top, all of these are going to be paid for premium subscription content. If you want the free ones, you'll click on the free tab. They have Programming 100, which if you look in the corner, focuses on block coding. And they have Programming 300, which introduces them to JavaScript and HTML, I believe. And then you also have this one, which is for the littler kids, kindergarten to grade 4. So if I wanted to assign Programming 100 to my students, all I would do is click assign. There are 6 lessons in Programming 100. I can choose the lessons that I want, or I can just assign all 6. I'm going to leave all 6 on there so that they can work at their own pace, and I'm going to assign it to Makerspace. All right, so my kids now have Programming 100, Hour of Code, NASA Hour of Code, and History's Heroes that they can all work on. Notice when you hover over History's Heroes, there's also a lesson plan that goes with it, which is really nice. All right, so those are lessons. I'm making sure I didn't miss anything on my notes. All right, so like I said, some free content in lessons. A lot of the free content is in projects. All right, notice no options in projects here, and that is because you have to create your projects first and save them to your account. And to do that, we're going to go over here on the left and click on My Projects. These are all projects that I've done with my kids. And to make a new one, you just click Create a New Project. All right, now this is where you can really get creative and fun with your kids. These are all the categories of the projects. My kids love making games. I'm going to go here to Simple Games. And there are 3 options: Rare Thrills Runner, Eat 'em Up, or Space Rush. I'm going to click Eat 'em Up, and then I'm going to click Start Project. And it will bring up the project for you to do. Now, before you do anything to this project, you're going to want to save it. So I'm going to click save as a new project. And maybe, there it goes. All right. And it's called Eat 'em Up. And I'm going to click save. So now I haven't changed anything. I haven't done anything to the project. I'm saving it blank so I can assign it to my students. From here, you can do this project. And I do this before I assign any project to my kids. I make sure that I know how to do it because I'm not a coding expert. So I want to make sure that if they have questions, I can kind of help them a little. On the left-hand side is the tutorial, walks you step by step through how to do it. There are even videos that are embedded that show you how. And you can go through and create your project. We're going to do this in a minute. All right. After you've played around, you know what you're doing. You can click back. And your new project that you just made is right here. You can assign it to your Makerspace class. And now your kids have a project. They have lessons and they have projects. Projects are little snippets using skills that they've learned from the lessons. I'm going to go back to my class and you're going to see, oh, it should be there. We'll see if it shows up when I go into the student app in a second. Let's make sure I assigned it. Makerspace, assign. Okay. All right, let's go back to Makerspace. Oh, here it is. It's under weekly projects. All right, last couple things in the teacher dashboard. There is a grade book that you can see their progress on the lessons and the projects that you do, that you've assigned them. You can see any lesson that you've assigned, you can see their progress. You can see if the students complete a project and add it to the showcase, you can see the projects that are in there. And if any students have earned certificates, they'll be in this section. A couple other things that are awesome on the teacher dashboard of Tynker are the teacher resources, the help center, the hour of code. This is actually where I began with Tynker. I used it for an hour of code project and fell in love with the ease of use because not everybody's great at code. And my kids really liked that even the beginners could create a project that was awesome. And so my students really like it a lot. And so I started with Hour of Code and moved on from there. There are lots of articles and videos that help you along the way as well. All right, so we are going to get off the teacher dashboard and I'm going to show you what this looks like on the student end and show you how to do that project that we assign them. Okay, so we have exited the teacher portal on tynker.com, and I'm going to show you what it looks like on the student app. So again, for Worcester County people, Tynker is available in the teacher and the student portal. So either one of those will allow you to download Tynker. All right, when students sign in, I'm gonna sign out so that you can see what this looks like. Oh, sign out. Okay. So when a student signs in, they have a couple options. The very first thing is you'll see a settings gear up here, and you'll see a little house. This toggles them between Tynker for School and just regular Tynker. So we're going to stay on Tynker for School, and you'll see that they have some options. They can go to class projects. They can go to Space Cadet, Dragon Spells, Barbie, Hour of Code. After that, you start getting these options that have this gold crown, and that's the premium paid for subscription-based projects. So they won't be able to play those. It'll be only the ones without the crowns. From here, I would instruct my students to sign in. And I'm going to sign in with Tyler's username and password that I created him. And his password was okay. Once they're signed in, you'll see any class projects. And this is where you'll see that Eat 'em Up one that we made. You'll also see that it will announce when you've got new assignments. And they can play, these are part of the programming 100 that we assigned them, the Space Cadet and the Dragon Spouse. So in class projects, I'm going to click on Eat 'em Up. And you're going to see how this is laid out. The students get a tutorial over here. They get their workspace over here. And the little play button down in the corner lets them preview their project. So it's very self-explanatory. I'm going to get my little thing out of the way and show you. Tells them how they're going to create their game. Then they just click next. The first step is to customize the background. So it says select the stage, tap the 3-dot icon. Select properties, tap the add background, go to the game elements and choose your game background. So we're going to go to stage, properties, add a background. And they told us that we needed to get them from the games, although I don't see the games in here. So I'm just going to exit out of here and go select a background from the media library. Add background. I guess I can just pick any of them. On my MacBook, I was definitely able to click the games. All right. I'm just going to go grab a background. That works. Let me do this one. Okay. Choose any of the square backgrounds. All right. So the next thing it does is tells you how to code the different characters in your game. These are just two balls. You've got ball and you've got player. So first it says start by scattering tiny balls around the stage for the player to collect. And the nice thing about this is that you can actually just drag these blocks over. So the students don't have to go anywhere separate to get their blocks. Everything they need is right in the tutorial, which makes it really nice. Then it says create 20 balls. After creating all the clones, broadcast the message clone to let the other actors know that they should start moving. And then it shows you what a completed code should look like. So I'm going to connect my code blocks, repeat, create clone of self, and start broadcast. And then all I do is click next, and it'll take me to my next set of code. So now that the balls have been created, position them on the stage and give them a random color. So I'm going to drag out the blocks that I need. When each of the 20 clones is created, it will run all of the code under the code clone startup block. So it gives them a different color. That's what this purple one does. Set color effect to pick a random. And then it sets them to a random spot. Okay. Next. The player ball needs to follow the mouse's player. So you're going to say, when it says start, you are going to forever point towards the touch location, move 500 pixels, and wait a second. Then you're going to go down here and make sure that your code looks like that code. And I'm going to go a little bit fast so that we can see the ending. All right, that just says to eat them if they're smaller than yourself. And then, all right. So now my code should work. I went through it really fast, obviously. And I'm going to press this play button down here at the bottom. And my ball should follow my finger on the screen, eat the balls on the screen, and get bigger as it does it. So you'll see these each expand on themselves. So the next one should be a little bit more difficult and a little bit more advanced for them to do. And they will eventually build on themselves and learn all of these gaming techniques. If they go back, they can save them and they can tag them. And that is basically the student portal very, very quickly. Like I said, they can go in and start on their Programming 101, and you in your grade book on the teacher will see what this looks like and what they've completed.
Space
And this is very
on a routine mission to
step by step led through the. Like I said, when you get to that programming 300, it gets a little more advanced. This is going to be basic code, block coding. The programming 300 is going to be block coding and then move on to Python.
Ouch! That was a close one.
All right, at any point, they can go home and finish. And that is basically what they can do in their app. Like I said, everything is located either in the class projects or the projects that they can see what they finished. And they can create their own project. So just like we went in and created a project, they can go in here and do their own. A lot of my kids like this because they can do mods in Minecraft. They can make their own mods and upload them into Minecraft, which are pretty cool. But they have access to all of those same ones that we did. All right, so that was the student app. And we are going to go quickly back over to my MacBook. And I am just going to give you my contact information in case you ever want to get a hold of me. Shoot me an email. I love to talk about this stuff. It's a passion of mine. Let me see. There we go. So feel free to email me. You can always call me at the school if you need help in a pinch. And if you ever want any more information on Tynker, want to play around with some things or find out more information, let me know. Thank you.